little bit of Ain't She Sweet to show off this Slingerland Maple, if I can get it right in the light, uke banjo. It's one of the very, very basic models, but I think it sounds pretty good for what it is. It's about the third one of these I've offered for sale in the past 2 or 3 months, and from the questions I've been asked, some of the people who are interested, I obviously haven't given enough background material about this. I tend to assume that people know where various instruments come from and what the construction is. So this is an American uke banjo made by the Slingerland company, which is still in existence, but it only sells drums today. It doesn't make any banjos or guitars or mandolins or any other instruments that it used to make. They are probably one of the most ubiquitous firms because they were very cheap, and despite the fact they were very cheap, they were also very good. And this instrument shows it for this 2 simple reasons. Firstly, they use good materials, good wood, maple. Can't get any better than that. If you look carefully, you might see a little bit of bird's eye on this rim. It's not the most elaborate I've seen, but it's not bad. The other thing is they made them like conventional banjos with laminated rims made of good tone wood like maple. Oh, there we have a bit of bird's eye. And they made them also with lots of tension hooks. So despite the fact that this is a very, very basic banjo at a very initially low price, it's got 12 tensioners on there, which means you got bags of tension, and if you got bags of tension on a good rim, you're going to get a good tone. I should make a comparison, of course, unlike a lot of old English banjos, which have maybe, you were lucky if you got 8 hooks on, 6 commonly, and some as little as 4. Well, it's going to sound like a soggy Yorkshire pudding, isn't it, with 4 tension hooks on. So there we are. That's the basic construction. Maple laminated rim and solid maple neck. No fingerboard on this one, just the frets are laid directly into the neck. It's had a little bit of fret dressing by me, because on a pre-war instrument of this type, the wood invariably shrinks, and of course metal doesn't, so the fret ends tend to be proud. So that's been trimmed off, and I've done it close enough so it doesn't didn't actually take any of the lacquer off. All the original lacquer is pretty good. It was pretty filthy, I've got to say, this thing. And if you see there's a light mark on the peg head fascia, and there was a little transfer there which came off in the cleaning, and it said the sterling. So this was made for another music company, although it does say on the back, we know it's made by the Slingerland company, and the model is the Maybelle, which was one of the cheaper ranges. But it was made for the Sterling company, which was one of their off brands that they did. Lots of music dealers did it in the early days. One of the features that I should point out about this is it's got the original pegs on there, which are in good clean condition, because I clean them up myself, and work pretty good, work pretty smooth, and stay pretty much where you like to put them. The other fitting, it's got all the original hooks, nuts, lugs, and it's got the original Grover tailpiece, which is actually a 5-string tailpiece, which was quite common to put them on uke banjos. And as you see, it's a little bit pitted. It's had, this is a steel tailpiece, so all the plating's worn off it and it's been polished down pretty much to the bare metal. But the nickel plating on the top band, as you see, is pretty good, and pretty good on the original lugs and everything, and not too bad on the inside. Usually those brackets, those washers on the bolts that screw the brackets to are usually pretty rusty, but they're not bad in this case. The head looks peculiar, to say the least. You see, it looks translucent. You can see through it. You can actually see the rim through it. But it is calfskin, and it's a type known as slunk in the trade. And those of you who have finer feelings might cringe at this, but the reason this calfskin is translucent is because it comes from unborn calfskin, an unborn calf. Yes, but it's nice to know that everything is not wasted when a baby calf dies before it's born. Anyway, enough of the gruesome details. The other things about it is it's got real little pearl dots in there for the markers at the 5th, 7th and 12th frets. And it's got a tiny little bridge which looks as if it was it's got a notch in it. So it looks like it had a leg there for a non-tip bridge. You might want to change that. And I haven't changed the strings. It's got the original strings on. So again, you might want to put your own preference on there. The rim size is commonly called 7 inches. It's actually a little smaller than that. It's 6 13/16. Unfortunately, you can't get plastic heads for that size. So if you wanted to put a new head on, you're looking at a cold plastic head or another calfskin. Anyway, enough rattling on by me. As you see, the light is marginally better than it is on usually on my videos the sun goes down the second I switch the video camera on, so it's a little bit better today. But if you do have any questions about it, as per all my auctions on eBay, please do not email me. Do phone me. My phone number's on the auction. If you do email me, you'll simply get a message saying please phone me, and I will talk till the cows come home about anything you want to about this instrument or any other instrument. But I hate one finger typing, so please indulge me in that one little thing, will you? So, the other thing I was going to say, it doesn't have a great case, but it does have your average sort of half-shaped cardboard case with lacking the handle, but it's enough to give it a bit of protection in transit. So we'll try another little bit of a popular George Formby number, because I know most of the people who look at uke banjos on eBay are George Formby fans and are seeking for yet another uke banjo. So I'll do a little bit of the window cleaner, I think, and I'll play it quite simply the way George used to while he was singing, because that's one thing I did admire about his playing, was that he was very tasteful when he was singing, and then of course when he stopped singing he used to go apeshit with all his barrage of finger stuff. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I do hope you like it and you decide to offer a bid. Okay, or you could ring me directly, entirely up to you. Bye now. I go cleaning windows to earn an honest bob. For a nosy Parker, it's an interesting job. It's a job that just suits me. A window cleaner you could be. It's much too high for me and C. In my profession I'll work hard and I'll never stop. I'll climb this blinking ladder till I get right to the top. anymore. Bye now.